Hi everyone, this is Stacy. I am back again today with another Cricut Explore video. For today's video, I'm starting a mini-series on making a drawing book for a little one you have in your life. I'm making mine for my grandson who turns 3 in November, and the concept or idea behind this book came from this game here I made quite a few years ago. This is a CD case. At the time I made this, I had a little laminating machine, so I used that as well. What I did, I went to Google, I looked up images, I made games here, like I made a car bingo game, a grocery store bingo game, a little maze. This came right from Google. This one I made, that little dot game where you draw a square, whoever makes a square puts their initial in it, tic-tac-toe board, hangman, and a few images as well, like coloring book images. Since they're all laminated, you then can take a dry erase marker, color the image in, then erase it and recolor over and over again. Now I wanted to create this same idea for my grandson and make it more personal and more up to date. I no longer have a laminating machine. I don't want you guys buying one either just to make this book. So I thought, what else can we use for this idea? So I thought of a scrapbook album. You know, we all can pick them up at the craft store. Any kind of store will probably pretty much have a scrapbook album. This one here is sized at 7 by 7. You want to keep the size of your book in mind, depending on the age of the child. I don't want them lugging around this big 12 by 12 album. So I think anywhere from 6 by 6 to 8 by 8 would be a good ratio to stay in. Now, since this is a scrapbook album, it does have the plastic page over it, and that plastic is what we're going to draw on, or they're going to draw on, because we're going to turn this into a dry erase book for them. My album here has 12 physical pages, so it's 24 front to back. My binding looks like that. Any kind of binding you have will be fine. Now what I did here, my very first page, I have cardstock. And again, you can use any kind of cardstock you like. You don't need to use the expensive kind. I used the Georgia Pacific kind from Walmart. That works really well here. I went to the Cricut, I used the markers, and I drew out his name in a font I liked. The font I chose, I wanted to keep it simple. I didn't want to go wonky or fancy. I want the letter E to look like a normal letter E, so when he learns his alphabet, he would recognize that the E is in his name. Then you can take a dry erase marker, and you can get these anywhere. These ones happen to have the eraser on them. He then can color in the letters or the shapes or whatever whatever he can color in, whatever he wants to color in the book. So he'll color in the letter here, and again, he doesn't know the alphabet or the letters of his name yet, but over time when he's coloring these in, he'll learn the shape of the C by tracing it, so he'll learn how to draw the C, and just by looking at it, he'll learn what the letters are. And then when he's done coloring it, you can then take the eraser. Since it's on the plastic or the sheet page here, you can erase it really easily. It comes right off. Okay, nice and easy like that. And he can recolor it over and over again if he likes to. And the other idea I like about this book is that when it's finished or when he's done with it, he can take this cardstock piece out here. He can then color on it or paint it or decorate this any way he wants to. Put it back in their little book, and they have their own little scrapbook that he or they completely decorated, which I think is really fun, and it would make a great gift at the end of the year when the whole entire book's finished to give back to Grandma or Grandpa. Really fun idea there. You can make your book anything you'd like it to be. It can be a storybook. It could be like a mixed book like I'm doing, where I'll have words, I'll have pictures that you can color in, games that I'll incorporate, things like that. All kinds of things you can do. You can do a learning book where it's just ABCs, 1, 2, 3s, and basic shapes and colors. Just tons of ideas you can do with the book. And the best part is you're making it. You're not going to find it at a bookstore. And I'm telling you that the kids are going to love it because it's their own little book. Alright, so moving forward, other pages I did here. This one here, I just drew a house. So he can go back in with his markers and color the house any way he wants. He can add grass, add a bird, add sun, or whatever he wants to do here. I also did a bingo board game. Now this is a little bit too old for him, and I think that's okay, because he'll grow with the book. Mom and Dad can play this with him in the car when whoever's not driving, they can play it, or what have you. So you can choose games that are a little bit more older than they are, that they can learn as they go. I did this all with the Cricut using just the markers in the Explore machine. And you can see this is a car bingo. I chose images that he can relate to that are easy for him to know. Like I did a sun, a mailbox, a bird, a truck, a tree, airplanes, things that he would recognize and relate to. So if you live near a farm, you may want to put in a barn or a cow or a horse. If you live in a city, you may want to do a bridge, a tunnel, maybe a city bus or a subway, that kind of thing, or a train, something like that that the little one can relate to as far as where they live. Now, as far as the book, I want this to be a sharing process, that we create the book together. So all of my files that I share with you, I'll email them to you, and you're more than welcome to all the files I've used. If you want to do the same thing and share your files, you can leave a comment on any of the videos that we create. leaving a comment telling us what your page is like, and then we can PM you for your email address, and we can use your files as well. So it'll be a YouTube family community book that we're all creating together. I think that's really a fun concept, and I think it's a really nice way to do it. Now, one thing to keep in mind, all the images I am using, I do have the Cricut subscription, which is $9.99 per month. That may be something you might want to look into if you want to do this book, so you'll have access to a majority of the images. Also, the one rule I have is if you're going to make a page, don't use an image you need to pay for. Like when I did this one last night, there was a really cool little gas pump I wanted really, really bad. It was 99 cents. I'd hate to mail you this file and telling you it's free, and then you need to go and buy the 99-cent image. So make sure all your images are free or they're included in the subscription. Also, my fonts, I'm using just Cricut. I'm not going to use any computer fonts or system fonts I downloaded. You most certainly could if you want to, but I figured if I'm sharing them with you, I want to make sure you have access to everything I'm using without downloading or buying anything different. The markers I'm using are just Cricut markers. You want to have a variety of those, a thicker point and a fine point. With the fine point is really good for the smaller image, like the bingo card here. I think the thicker marker, you may lose a little bit of detail, and then the image may not look, the bust may not look like a bust with a thicker marker. So you want to keep that in mind as well. And that is it. So today's video, I'll be sharing with you how to do the bingo frame card. So if you want the finished bingo card, which is the one you see here, okay, I'll show it to you again here, nice and slow so you can see all the images. If you want this bingo card done the way it is, leave me a comment with your email and I'll gladly email it to you. This is size 7x7, but you can of course resize it either way, up or down. But today I'll share how to make the basic bingo grid. So if you want to, you then can, I can send it to you as well. You can add your own font and your own images that would relate to the one you're giving it to, or the town or city where they're from. And that's it. Then we'll move on as we go. If you have any questions about it, let me know. And like I said, I think this is a really fun idea. I think it's a really nice, unique gift you're going to give to somebody. The only thing it's going to cost you is a scrapbook album. You want to keep the size in mind. Again, you don't want to give them a really big, bulky album. You want to make it portable enough to where they can carry it around with them and use it more. Like if they go to a restaurant or in their doctor's office or a park, they can take the little book and color along. And then when you're done with the book, give it to them in like a really cute little package. Include a little package of the dry erase markers. If they don't have the eraser, you can always buy a dry erase marker with it. And, something like that. So it's a really cute presentation to make them excited about the book. Usually when a kid sees a book, it's like, no, it's almost like them getting underwear. The same, almost the same feeling. So just present it really cutely or nicely, and I think they'll be interested in the book. All right, enough of me jambling. Let's go onto the Cricut Explorer machine and we'll start the bingo board. Alright, we are now at the computer ready to make our little bingo card. We're going to go to the Cricut Design Space webpage. I have the icon on my desktop, so I just clicked on that. You're going to see this screen. You want to go up top and hit login on that green box. Enter in your email and your password here on this screen. Oh, I knew I got that one wrong. Okay, hang on. Enter that again. Okay, once you have that in, you're able to see you're logged in by seeing your name there. You want to go and click on Create New Project. Now here, the first thing we're going to do is make a template of the same size of our page for our album. In my case, my album page was 7x7. So I'm going to go to my left-hand side toolbar, click on Insert Image. I'm going to go in the search box here and type in a square. Hit Enter on my keyboard. And then let's find a square here. Click on that, insert the image. I want to leave him selected, go up top to my edit panel and size him to be the same size of my album page. In my case, again, it was 7x7. My width here, I'm going to change to 7. Hit enter, my height should change, which it did. So now I have a square that is size 7x7. If your album is 8x8, you would just change that, change it to your size. Alright, so we have that. Now I want to create the lines for our bingo board. I'm going to go up top here, have my square selected, hit copy and hit paste. I'll now have two squares. On my layer panel, I can see the two squares. The one that is selected, you will see it comes in a darker area here. That's how you can tell which square you're on. Change the color of that to whatever color you like. I'm going to do it a creamy color here, just so we can see it better on the video. And close that out. Now I want to edit this square and change the width of this one. I want to create little columns or little lines. So my height, I want to leave at 7, but I can't change my width without changing the height. So I need to unlock the lock here that holds them together, make sure the lock is open, and then change my width to be 0.10. So it's itty bitty, and that's fine. So we have that. Now I want to copy this. So go up top here in your top toolbar, hit copy and paste. I want to have 5 lines here. So there's number 2, paste it again, 3, again is 4, and again will be 5. Okay, so move my layer panel out. Now I'm going to move all these off of my square here. Just grab each one, take them out of the way. And they're not so little to where they're hard to grab. Alright, so now I want to go up top here and open up my grid so I can see some kind of template or lines on my mat. So next to your name, inside there you'll see a little square. Click on that. That's going to reveal your grid. Then take this square and line it up with your grid on the mat, on your screen. It just helps for placement. Now here we need 4 lines going down, because we need columns of 5, so we would need 4 lines. So take each line and bring it over. And this is where it's just pretty much a guessing game to what looks good to you. Okay, we're not going to get it perfect. I'm not aiming for perfect, I'm aiming for it looks okay. Alright? So just line these up to where they look somewhat even. This one needs to go a little bit more that way, I think. Oop, undo that. Okay, I think I'm good there. Alright, so I have my 4. I think this one's a little bit too far over. I mean, you can spend a lot of time on here and getting really precise, but I want to just get it close. Alright, I think that looks good. Now I want to line these all up to where they're going to touch the top and bottom of the square. So just grab one of them and line it up to where it's even on the top and bottom. Okay, that looks pretty good. Now we're going to go select that same square, go to your edit panel, and you want to go down the bottom here where position is, and you'll see an X and Y coordinate. This will tell us where that line is on our mat, so we can make sure the other ones line up as well. So if we're working vertically, which we are here in this case, you want to follow your Y coordinate. Down here you will see right now my Y coordinate says 2.06 for this line. I then want to take each one of these ones and put that on the 2.06 Y coordinate as well. So we go and click on this one over here and go to my Y coordinate and just type in the same number, 2.06, and it's going to move up and line up with the other one, and do that for these ones as well. And yours will be different depending on where you place your square. So whatever it is, make sure once you have all your lines up, you want to line up all your lines to the same Y coordinate. Alright? Alright, that part is done. Let's go and close this out. Now we have this line over here. We want this one to go horizontal. So we're going to go back to our edit panel. At the right here in the center it says rotate. Type in here 90. Hit enter, and that's going to make our line now a horizontal line. So once again, I want to go back up top and hit copy and paste, and this time we need 5 lines rather than 4. So hit copy and paste. So there's number 2, number 3, 4, and 5. And then again, we're going to close these out and line these up evenly apart. And like I said, it's just a guessing game here, okay? And we need 5 here because on top we're going to write the word bingo down here. Now you of course don't, if you don't want to do that, you don't need to do that. You can just make it a bingo board without the word bingo. Okay, so this one's got to come down a little bit. Again, I think that looks relatively close. So the same idea here, we want to make sure these all line up left to right. So grab one of these lines and make sure he's touching both the left and right side of your square. You might want to use your arrows on your keyboard. Okay, that looks good there. So let's go to our edit panel. Click on the one we just lined up. That's the correct placement. Now here, you're going to pay note to the X coordinate. Okay, the X would be the horizontal coordinate. So here we have my X is at 1.1. So I'm going to take each one of these guys down here and change the X coordinate to the same. 1.1. Oops, hang on. Too far over. Okay, what was this one again? Oh, 11. Okay. Change all these guys to 11. Okay, so I click on this one. 11. This one down here. 11, and then this one down here, change that one as well. Alright, so now what we just did, we lined up everything on to where all of our lines here are touching our outer square. Okay. Now at this point, we want to take these lines and make them draw or make them right. So you want to go to your layer panel, and you will see we have a whole bunch of layers here. We have our bottom square, which is the pink one. We want to make sure that one stays pink and that one's going to cut out. The rest we want to draw. So just click on the ones, you'll see a pair of scissors. Click on the scissors, then click on right, and then change that to whatever color. I'm going to use midnight so we can see it here. And do that the same one to every one. Change all these to right. Click on the scissors, change it to right, and then pick your color. Click on right. And I like doing this as I go versus doing it later, because if I did it later, odds are I might forget. So whenever you have something new to your mat, or this midnight board, or a bingo board, just, go in here and change all these things to right. Okay, I think I have 2 more. Okay, change that one, right, midnight, and then our last one here, right, midnight. Okay, that is all set up to draw out the lines and to cut out the pink square. Now at this point you can save this. Let's go up top and hit save. I'm going to save this. I already got a blank bingo card here. We'll override it. Hit save and hit save again, or override. Okay, that's saved now as a blank bingo card. Now if you want to, we can go back and add images to it depending on what you're going to use this bingo card for. If this was a grocery bingo, you of course would add food items. A car bingo, you would add things you find on the highway or the road, or symbols like that. Let's go to insert images, and let's do this one like a food item, a grocery bingo. So I'm going to type in here ice cream. Kids know what that is, right? Fine. Click on ice cream, hit enter, and then find an ice cream cone that looks like an ice cream cone. Like this one here, if you look at that one, it's just a shadow. You can tell it's ice cream, but it's kind of plain. This one here has that sticking out. That would be kind of hard to draw. So I'm going to grab this one here. Oops, not that one, this one. Okay, so it looks like an ice cream cone. I think the kids will be able to know what that is. I'm going to select that, insert the image. Okay, there it is on our mat. I'm going to resize it to where it's going to fit inside one of these squares. And again, our squares are not perfect. You can always go back in here. Like I think I need to readjust this one a little bit right here. I'm going to do that real quick. Bring these guys in a little bit more. One more. Okay, that looks a little better. Alright, so take your ice cream cone or whatever you're going to bring in and resize it by clicking on the little handles on the corner and make it fit inside a square. Let me zoom in so you guys can see that better. Bring this over here. So see the ice cream cone. Now when you zoom in, you can get a little bit more detail to make it a little bit larger. You can of course use that dot on the very top and rotate it. That may give you more space as well. It's up to you guys. Okay? I think it looks good. So when you have your ice cream in there, you're going to go to your layer panel again. Find your ice cream. Each image, you want to make sure you do this part. Click on the scissors and change that to scissor from cutting to writing. And we're going to change it to midnight again. And close this out, and now you'll see that's going to draw. So you will do that for every image on our mat. Every image you want to bring to your bingo card. When your bingo card is done, you would take your mouse and drag a blue box around the entire thing. Okay? Go up top, hit select all, or you can do the box. Either way, we'll do the same thing. So you can hit select all, it's all selected. Go to your layer panel and you're gonna click attach. I'm not gonna click attach yet, so I can mail you this bingo card. Once you hit attach, it's gonna attach the writing to the pink piece to cut out. Okay, so you would do that step, hit go, and then you're ready to go and cut it out, and you would use your marker color. Alright, I'm gonna move this off, delete that ice cream cone out of there, and leave this the way it is. So it's not attached. So if you want the bingo card, this blank bingo card grid, leave me a comment below. I'll mail this to you, and then you can go in there and you can readjust these if you want to, because you can see you can select each one by itself. Okay, I have it saved as a blank bingo card. So there you have it. That's how you do the bingo card. If you want the one I showed you in the beginning of my book, email me and I'll send you both files just to make it easier. I'll send both files out, the full bingo card and the blank bingo card. And next time we'll work more on the book. So I will see you guys soon. Any questions at all, please let me know. And as always, thanks so much for watching. Have a great day, and I will see you guys next time. Bye-bye.